Let's look at an example of using text and a mouse tracking. So here I have a Khan Academy project, and I've drawn a sun on the screen and wrote the text "Good morning." What I'd like to do, my goal, is to have the "Good morning" follow the mouse. So as I move my mouse around, I'd like "Good morning" to follow it. What we've learned from Khan Academy is that we need some kind of animation function in order to do that animation. So let's add in the draw function to do the animation. Now I want everything inside that function. So I can do Control X to cut it and Control V to place it. And I like to tab that in so it looks like those statements are inside that function. Okay, so now the background, the text, the sun is getting drawn over and over again, but the values aren't changing, so we're not seeing any difference. What I want the values to change to are the position of the mouse, X and Y. So we can look in the documentation to see what kind of functions we have for the mouse. If I do Control F, I can just type in mouse and it will find them. Well, look right here, the very first thing, mouse X and mouse Y give the coordinates of the mouse. So we can use those variables that are globally set with Khan Academy to change our program to use the X and Y based on the mouse position. So let's take a look at that. I can do a print line, and that's going to show me the mouse X position. So you can see that number is changing as I move the mouse around. Well, what we actually want to move around is this "Good morning" right here. So the "Good morning" is on line 14 here, and instead of writing it at 30-30, I want to write it at the mouse X position. And that was a capital X in the documentation, so I have to keep that capital X. And now you can see my X position is changing and following my mouse. Now it's not changing based on the Y position, so we have to update that value too. So I can put the mouse Y in, and now that "Good morning" is following my mouse. So the little print line is getting in my way here, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that so that I don't have this black box anymore. But it's kind of a handy tool to use that print line to show the value in any variable. I have it working, but isn't it kind of funny how my "Good morning" is behind the sun? And maybe it'd be better if that was in front. Well, we know that in drawing, everything gets drawn on top of the last thing. So if we made "Good morning" the last thing that we were to draw, then it would appear on top. So if I go ahead and cut that part that does the "Good morning," so I'll do Control X to cut it and move that down here to Control V afterwards. Now my "Good morning" is on top of the sun. If I want to keep that, I can go ahead and save it.